So if you have been in an accident, timing really is everything. And that's why we're talking with Lloyd Baker today from Lloyd Baker Attorneys. So this is something that maybe not everybody knows, but give us a little bit of information about the sensitivity around timing, because this is something I maybe wouldn't know if I was in an accident. I wouldn't be up on the timing of all of it. So, Lloyd,
Sure.
thanks for being here, and start out with that, with the timing aspect of it.
So evidence seems to disappear. And so the quicker you can get it, the better off you are. So, pictures, EDRs from your vehicle, tells you the speed, dash cams, there's always, usually, a camera somewhere or a witness somewhere that sees something. And if you wait and you're like, oh, I'll go it on my own, I won't, if you don't do the proper investigation, that's the problem. People, they miss out on a lot of evidence that could prove that they were not at fault for the accident, or to prove, what exactly happened, because sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do that. So pictures of the accident, super important. Anytime you can get witness information, that's great. And then getting into obviously the doctors is the most important thing, but
Sure.
to get that evidence saved, and so that your attorney or whoever's can help you.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. So.
And you make a really, really great point about the fact that there are cameras everywhere.
There
So
are.
when people come to work with you, is this something, because you are a personal injury attorney, is this something that people will bring all of this to you? Do you kind of help them get all of this information, all of this evidence? How does that relationship work?
It's both. A lot of times they'll have a dash cam, which helps us.
Okay.
What color was the light? We can look and see, and so, and also, there's a 7-Eleven on every corner or a convenience store, and so
Somebody's going to have footage of this somewhere. It's 2023.
So
yes.
we've done that. We've got McDonald's footage. I mean, just to show what's going on, and so it's, we obviously chase that stuff too. So we want to preserve everything we possibly can, because every once in a while, it's not in favor of our client, right? And so it's good to know that up front.
Absolutely.
Before they, go and spend a bunch of time and effort treating when they, probably won't recover. So, it's we talked about it earlier. It's kind of a necessary evil, I guess. But
Sure.
but people are so grateful that we attack and get things done, and just are aggressive about our representation and about getting the facts and getting the evidence, because it does help them.
Absolutely. And so it's helpful for them to come to you with the information, but you guys will also go after that information. So tell us a little bit about when people start working with you, how does that process go? What are the initial kind of steps when they work with you?
Well, nowadays, all you do, pretty much, it's all digital, right? So they can digitally sign. As soon as we get that going, we can represent them. And our first priority is to preserve evidence. That's what we're all about. And so obviously get them to the doctor, get them lined up. Sometimes they don't even know what to do, because they're like, hey, who's going to pay for all this? Yeah. So we, you can put a doctor on a lien. So we have connections like that, and they wouldn't treat if they're like, hey, I'm from a different country, or I don't know, I've never done this before. Right. And so it's like, it's help and guide them is the biggest thing.
There you go. Yeah, that's a huge point right there, helping guide someone, because I wouldn't know if, God forbid, I was in an accident or something like that. I maybe wouldn't know what my next steps were. So when it comes to things like an insurance company, is there a hard and fast rule? Is there like you have 2 weeks and then that's it? How long do you have with something like an insurance company to file a claim?
Well, for your own insurance, you need to let them know. Okay.
Right away.
Right away. I mean, they're pretty particular about it. On the other side, though, we can let them know, and a lot of times people try to do it on their own, and that's when they get in problems, because they're like, they didn't get the proper treatment, they didn't preserve all the evidence, and so getting them to just realize that they can treat, that they can get better, that there's somebody to pay for it, things like that, and that that it will be paid is super important.
They have the support. They have the support. And one of those people who's there to support, like we were just talking about, is you guys at Lloyd Baker Attorneys. So tell everybody, if unfortunately someone has been in an accident, how do they get in contact to work with you?
855 Baker Law, that's our phone number, or bakerwins.com.
Bakerwins.com. I like that.
Sure
yes, that is an easy one to remember. And That's going to give you the confidence you need when you're coming out of something like this and you're like, I know where I need to go.
Right.
Lloyd Baker, I love that. Well, thank you so much for this. This was some
Thank you.
really great information because, yeah, of course, if something happens, you're flustered, you're not sure what to do. Now people have some good information and I know who to go to. Thank you so much, Lloyd.
Thanks for having us.